Hello my crafty friends and welcome to my YouTube channel Corrine Crafts. Wow, what a lovely day to be crafting today. Now this is something a little bit different. I've taken a page from an old book. It really was an old book. It was from the charity shop that was broken, had pages missing, and I've trimmed it down to 5 3/4 inches and I've stamped over it with a Stamps by Me stamp, and then I've used my colour blend pencils to create this lovely effect and a little bit of grey around the outside. I love it. Something a little bit different, something that I think is going to be absolutely fantastic for you to have a go, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's see how I made it. So this project is slightly different for me. It's not one that I've done anything similar for in a previous video, so I thought it's nice to have a little bit of a change. So what I thought I'd do is I'd show you how to do a little bit of colour blending. So I've got my pencils. These are lovely pencils. I've given them to you. They're lovely pencils full of waxy pigment, but I'm going to be blending them with a blending solution and my paper stumps. So I'm going to have a really good go. Oh, and I'm also going to do some highlights with a really nice soft pencil as well. And also I thought I could stamp onto white card, we could age it, but you've seen me, I have some books that I got from charity shop, and this is one of them. I've trimmed it down to a lovely square, if I remember. Yeah, it was 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. You could have rough edges if you wanted, that might look nice, but I managed to find, I like this bit because it was like the beginning of a chapter, so it's given me a nice border around the outside. And I'm going to stamp onto here again. I've got another stamp not in a pack. I think it's Stamps by Me. I'm pretty certain it's Stamps by Me. I'm guessing it is. I'm going to say it's Stamps by Me. So the first thing I'm going to just clear a few bits out of the way, and I'm going to be stamping. Now I'm going to stamp with my Memento ink. So it says on the back here it is where am I? It's acid free, it's water based. Now I picked this water based because this is an oil. So I thought, ooh, I want the opposite, so this is why I went with that. I hope it seemed to work. It seemed to work. So I'm going to open up my Eureka. As you know, I've still got my really scrappy bit of paper. I might actually change that one day. I'm going to put my magnet on, and I'm going to pop my stamp on. Now when I look at this, to me, this flower, I like it that way. I don't know which way it's supposed to go. I like it that way. So I like that flower sort of. I'm going to go that way like that. I'm going to put that on there. And what I've picked is, can you see? So it goes over the edge of the writing, because I think that's going to look really, really nice. So weight it down, pick up my stamp, and then I'm going to have to do a couple of inks. I know that for certain. So ink it up. It's a nice Memento ink. It's a nice fine ink, so you'll get really, really good coverage. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. I don't know what that was that clicked. So still going in with my pressure tool. You see me use this all the time. First stamp will give us a bit of an impression. Oh, not bad. Now, if you wanted, to do sort of more of your no line colouring, you could, leave it at that, or maybe go in with a nice brown or a grey so that people can't see it as much, but I want the black to show. So let's do a second coat and see where we get from that. Do I need my third coat? Now, like I say, going on to page from an old book. There we go. That's not bad. I could do with just a little bit more, just in a couple of places. So it's definitely taking it, because my stamp's clean, so it's picking off all of the ink. It's just very absorbent paper, because like I say, it's a really old book. It was a damaged book at the charity shop that they couldn't sell because it was incomplete, had some damage to it. So I just used the pages that aren't damaged. So that bit there needed a bit more. This bit down here did. There we go. Let's have a look. Oh, you see, just took that little bit, didn't it? And that's all it required. So once I take it out of there, I'll leave that in there for now. I'm going to put it on here. Now I am going to work onto a piece of paper Let's see, you can still see that. That's lovely. And I'm going to bring in my pencils and everything else that I need. So I've got a range of colours here. What have I got? Vivid pink, jade, sage, pistachio, carmine, lemon, nectarine and pumpkin. And I thought those just work really nice together. So I will be using my pencil, but not yet. And I've got a couple of paper stumps. Now, the other thing I use is like the paper stump sander. Now, I will link at the bottom of my video to things like the paper stumps, to the sander, and also to the Sansador solvent. Now, I bought this initially when I was doing a lot of my foam flowers, because I would be putting on my pastels and my chalks using this. So yeah, so I use that. So what I want to do now is if I was actually, yeah, I'm just going to do it in the lid. I'm not going to waste. Right, so I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to try and put it a little bit, oops, I'm knocking over my glue, out of my way, because I know how clumsy I am. Let's just put that on there because it's lifting. And then I need to start colouring. So I've got 3 greens, and this is going to give me the perfect blend. So let's start with a nice leaf. So I'm going to go in with my darkest, which I think for me in this look is the jade. So I'm going to colour down there. I'm going to colour around the middle. Now it's going to be darker where this leaf lies over the top. So all the colouring rules that we've applied previously still apply. It's going to be darker just there. Then I'm going to come in with my pistachio, and I'm going to go around the outside on here. Now, I don't know whether I'm laying down the colours right. I'm laying down the colours in the way that works for me. So please just, find your way. So I'm coming in with the sage. I like this sage. It's quite a nice, well, it's sagey green, but I think it's got quite olivey tones to me. So I'm just going over there. And I'm going to do a couple of leaves. It doesn't dry, so you can do as many as you want before you start blending. So let me just do, let me do 3, because that's quite a nice number to do. So just putting down the darkest. Then I'm going on with the palest. Just like I said, just works for me. And you can see it doesn't react at all with the ink on your book. Then I'm going with the middle one. And oh, that's not the middle one, that's the middle one. Sage. Put that down there. Now, at the moment, it looks quite grainy. Now, you can work to blend some of these colours with the pencils. They do blend the more you work on them. Like you can see there, if I start to blend over there, I can get quite a nice blend just with the pencils alone. And a lot of people like to do that, just using those pencils just to blend those colours. Look, you can see straight away it's blended, but I'll show you something that makes it a lot easier in a minute. So jade up the middle, down where it overlays, then pistachio, most of the rest of it, and then sage, just to sort of start the blending process going. There we go. Right, so once I've got it to there, that's my colour. I can go in and add more colour. I'm going to get one of my paper stumps. So these are just compressed paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip it in here. I only need a little bit. Don't soak it. And if necessary, you can always tap a bit off. And then all I'm going to do is just blend on here. Now I will have to edit some of this out, because this is a long colouring process, and I'm sure you don't need to watch me colour absolutely everything, because it'd be about an hour and a half video probably, and I know none of you need to see that. So just a little bit on the top, and then you can really blend that together, and then you can get rid of all of those lines. Now I will, go back in with some more colour if you need to. You can always lay down more colour once you've done a bit of blending. You can colour on top of the solution, it's not a problem, and it sometimes helps to add that dimension. There we go, you can see, just like that. And then with the coloured ones, I sort of went a little bit different. I went with the yellow round the tops, just like that, just all the way around there. Oh no, that's an overlay bit. It's all right, I can cover that up in a minute. Round the top. Then I sort of went with my orange down at the bottom. Just laying that down. And then my darker, no, I'm going to go with red. the middle one, just starting to blend that out with a little bit of red just there. And I can do red all over that petal that's turned over, so it's like the underneath of the petal. And then again, I'm just going to get my paper stump. So I've got green on that side. I can use my sanding block to get rid of that. All I need to do is rub that on there and that will come clean. But I'm going to leave that as green for a minute, and I'm going to use this end, wet that. So it's quite handy having the two ends because it means I can work on the two colours. So I'm going to go with the yellow and then drag it in to the pink. So if you do get a little bit of colour change, just clean your stump, give it another dip, and then we can just come over here like this. There we go. And can you see how it just blends everything together? And if I've got a little bit mist, just drag that colour into there. Hope you're seeing that. I did the same with the pink. Now the pink, I did it really, really basic. I just did pink at the edges, and it looks so effective. Pink at the edges, just like that, all the way around, just dragging that pink all the way around there. And top of the petal just here. I'm going to come over here because we can add that colour blend in a minute. Top of the petals. Then I'm going to get the red and I'm going to just colour in at the base. Again, I'm not trying at this point to do too much blending. Let's just lay down that colour. There we go. All the way down. Colour, blend, pencils, just like that. There we go. Make sure I've got that. And then let's dip that in. And then I can blend the pink. There we go. You can see it just blends in. And if you feel like you've lost the colour, we can just go back in afterwards. So I'm just doing all the pinks first, dragging it where there's any bits missed. Then I'm coming into the red and I'm just dragging it up into that pink. There we go. Just dragging it up. It's such an easy process. And if you are, don't be scared of colouring. It really is lovely to do. And look at that. So like I say, if you feel like you want to sort of add in a bit more detail with the red, go for it. Add it in just there. It's so easy to do. I can see some white just here, look. Just dragging that colour through there. And how easy is that? So I'd also maybe this one here. I think this is supposed to be a bit of pink just there. Dip the end in and then just blend it out. Now I'll go over all of that and I'll show you one that I finished. But the next thing I wanted to do, really to make it pop, to make it pick out, is I've got a 2B pencil. Now I started my one I'm going to bring in a minute with a 4B and it was too soft. It was adding too much grey. So all I want to do, so this is a really nice one. It you can pick, again, I got these off Amazon. They weren't that expensive. It's just in a pack. But the 2B just works really well. Now, you don't need to blending solution for this. This is just your regular charcoal pencil. So I'm just coming around like that. Now, if you do any sandtangling or anything like that, I'm sure you've got pencils from that. This would work. And I'll just show you. Just lay down, again, very roughly. Not pressing too hard, I'm just putting down the colour. And then I'm going to get a clean paper stump and then I'm just going to blend that out. And all it does is it adds that shadow underneath. You've seen us do this. Sometimes when we've coloured with alcohol pens, we've possibly gone round with a nice bright blue to make it pop. But because this is a pencil drawing and it's on an old book page, I thought it would work really, really well with the pencil. And like I say, the 2B pencil for me. And then you just works really, really well. And then just blend it out. Blend it almost away to nothing. Can you see that was just scribble lines? And how perfectly do those blend out? Just blend them away to nothing. Blend them away all the way to nothing. So you're going to get that vintage look. Now, you could go around the edge of the paper, but I decided I didn't want to. I wanted just to keep it just like this. So I'm just taking that round there. And can you see, I think that really makes it pop. Okay, now I'm going to jump ahead because I really don't want this video to be too long. We're already 15, 16 minutes, maybe a bit more. So I'm going to show you one. And this is one, you can see, that I sat last night and coloured till quite late, I will admit. But I really enjoyed it. I'm just putting the lid on. I know how clumsy I am. There we go. And then this is what I finished. Doesn't that look amazing? I hope you like that effect. Something I really... Oh, I've just dribbed blending solution. Oh, it's all right. And the only other thing I've done is I've added a couple of gems. Black gems, you know me. Black gems wherever I can at the moment. They just seem to be my go-to. So all I'm going to do, make this into a project. Now this could be lovely in a bit of junk journaling, but you know me, I like to make my cards. So I've got a card, 7 inches square. Yeah, it was a 10 by 7 card because I didn't have any 7-inch ones. And then I'm just going to put black with some linen on. There you go. And I filled up my all-purpose. I bought a 1 litre bottle, so I'll get 10 refills into this, and it was a fraction of the price. Absolute fraction of the price by buying a 1 litre bottle. There we go. So I can put that on here. Just a nice little bit of linen. I've still got a top opener. There we go. I'll see if the deal's still on with the big bottle of solvent glue, and if it is, I'll put you on a link. I've just dropped my cloth off my knee, so I use a piece of paper towel just to get rid of that. And then I'm going to pop this on. I've just done some black and some white with a little bit of my Sticks to foam tape. Now I am going to do a dry adhesive on here for the simple reason, there we go, just getting that murky, I think it could show through. You've got to be really careful with your adhesive on this because it's a book page. It's very fine, so I just thought a dry adhesive like you tape runners is going to work really well. Oh, this is super sticky, sticking. There we go. I'm just going to come right down here. I might actually go to the edges with my dotty. Oh dear me, that is sticky, isn't it? Let's come right to the edges with the dotty because I can come off the edges. I do think a wet glue would give me that wiggle room, but I don't think I want to risk it, for it could bend the page. So excuse me if my head gets in the way. I'm going to pop that on here. So I've just gone 1/8 of an inch bigger. So it was 5 3/4, wasn't it? If I remember what I said. So my white is 6 and the black is between the 5 3/4 and the 6 inches. Like I say, gone up 1/8 of an inch. Doesn't that look amazing? On the back with your pokey tool is always the best way to get this off. This is quite a fine foam tape, and it's only 2mm, which I love, which means that it gives me just that without raising it too much. Sometimes you just need a little bit of height just to add interest. Now if you love flat cards, then go for it. If you're thinking postage, yeah, this is going to be a great project if you're sending it to somebody through the post. So we can take that. Obviously got to go that way up because that's the way the font goes. I was going to try this over a piece of music script. That might be my next trial with this. I might try that. I just put that wet glue on in case I needed wiggle room. And then the only other thing is, with the same foam tape on the back, I've just stamped congratulations on a piece of white card, edged it in the black, and I've cut that to the same size as the black on here. I've not gone all the way across, but I just thought it would look right to go to the black on there, and the white is the same length. And you'll notice that I've left a gap right through the middle. I'm going to drop that down. You could go smack bang in the middle, but I want to come down a little bit, almost like it's splitting that design. And you know what? That is what I do to make that one perfect. I think that is lovely. I love the contrast of the white on there. But that is so relaxing to just do that colouring. And like you say, look at that with the grey around that, really, really pops. And it just makes it embeds it into the script, doesn't it? I hope you enjoyed that. That was something a little bit different for me. Yeah, I'd love to see what you make. And thank you for watching. Please come back to watch more of my videos. They're uploaded 4 times a week, so there's plenty of inspiration for you. And as always, there'll be links down the bottom in the description for any items that I think you might like to purchase. So until the next time, happy crafting.